And on the other side, you have the guy running in New York, Mamdani, right? Okay, who's like a straight-up communist. I mean, he is. He talks about, you know, the things that communists say. I mean, he wants free grocery stores, free buses.
Bill Maher just went off on Zohran Mamdani and he didn't hold back. He tore into Mamdani's progressive agenda, even joking that his political rise might be the best campaign ad conservatives could ask for. The takedown is sharp, brutal, and seriously entertaining. Watch how quickly things escalate.
Who's the most popular politician on the left?
AOC? I don't know.
One of, but who's, you know, Bernie is,
Bernie, yeah.
Bernie is, I mean, he's not a capitalist, you know?
No, he's not. And he's also not president.
He's not, but
never would be.
But neither is Mamdani.
No, but he will, trust me, he will be featured in the campaign commercials.
But they're going to feature people, they boogeyman everybody.
Yeah, but you don't have to boogeyman him. He does it to himself.
Maher's point is simple. Republicans don't need to invent a caricature of Zohran Mamdani when his own rhetoric gives them plenty to work with. To critics, Mamdani's rise in New York could become a gift to the GOP, a ready-made argument that Democrats are drifting too far left. Mamdani calls himself a democratic socialist. Maher sees something else. Idealistic politics that may excite the base while handing conservatives an easy target.
This must be horrible for a guy like you, who you spent your whole life talking about how government tries to do too much, which it does, and spends too much. And here you have Trump, who is the Republican, who is aggrandizing more power than anybody, as we just talked about. And on the other side, you have the guy running in New York, Mamdani, right? Okay, who's like a straight-up communist. I mean, he is. He talks about, you know, the things that communists say. I mean, he wants free grocery stores, free buses.
I want him to win.
You want him to win?
Yeah.
At first, the pitch sounds almost irresistible: big promises, hopeful language, and plenty of applause. But look closer, and the shine starts to fade. To supporters, it may sound visionary. To critics who remember how similar experiments have ended, it feels less like progress and more like an old idea wrapped in a new slogan.
I think every 20 years or so.
Wait.
We need every 20 years or so, we need a conspicuous, confined experiment with socialism so we can crack it up again. Socialist slogan used to be, workers of the world unite, you have nothing to lose but your chains. The new socialist slogan is, trust us, this time it won't be a mess.
Socialism's biggest problem isn't the promise, it's the incentive structure. When competition fades and rewards are flattened, productivity can stall while bureaucracy grows. That's the concern critics raise about Mamdani agenda. It sounds compassionate on paper, but too much government control can slow growth and turn ambitious promises into disappointing results.
When the post-war Labour government in Britain was about to get started, one of their leading lights was a socialist named Nurian Bevan. He said, what could go wrong? He said, we have a nation bedded on coal, surrounded by fish. It would take an organizational genius to have a shortage of either. In 3 years, they had a shortage of both.
Britain is the warning critics point to. Decades of heavy state control brought bureaucracy, weak productivity, and economic stagnation before market reforms helped revive growth. That's why Maher sees Mamdani as a political risk for Democrats. His spending plans and positions on issues like gender-affirming care could push the party further left at a time when moderates remain crucial. To critics, Mamdani isn't just offering Republicans an easy target, he's giving them a ready-made argument that Democrats have drifted away from everyday voters.
He has attacked you personally and publicly like this.
He's not a socialist. He's a communist, okay? This is not a socialist, man. This is a communist.
I don't like to see a communist become mayor, I will tell you that.
I call him my little communist. He's my little communist mayor. We should never be in a position where we're talking about a communist.
We're going to end up with a communist mayor. It's not even believable, my beautiful New York. I think if a communist takes over New York City, I think that's a gift to the Republican Party.
Trump doesn't need to paint Mamdani as a socialist threat. His own proposals give Republicans plenty to work with. Government-run grocery stores, free citywide transit, and a bigger role for the state all feed the same narrative. Democrats are drifting further left. Mamdani calls it democratic socialism. His critics call it proof the party is moving towards something much more radical.
This vision of democratic socialism, it's one that often comes back to what Martin Luther King said decades ago. A vision of, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism, there must be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. Here in New York City, wealthiest city in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, 1 in 4 are in poverty. 500,000 kids go to sleep hungry every night. It's untenable to live with this kind of a divide. We have to actually have a politics that puts working people first.
Mamdani's pitch may sound new, but critics see an old formula. Big promises of fairness and shared prosperity, followed by more government control. Maher's concern is simple. America grew through competition, innovation, and the freedom to build, not by putting more of everyday life in the hands of the state. To him, history has already shown where that road can lead.
I want to speak to the memory of my aunt. Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Well, it wasn't so much his aunt as his dad's cousin, but, semantics. Douglas, is he ready to lead?
No, in absolutely no way is he ready to lead, and that was just another reminder of it. This is such a self-involved little narcissist with so little going for him.
Mamdani's message is built for emotion. Personal stories, symbolic language, and promises wrapped in empathy. Supporters may see that as inspiring. Critics see political stagecraft, powerful storytelling that can hide a lack of substance. And that's Maher's concern. A compelling narrative is not the same thing as effective leadership.
But he even decides to turn the memory of 9/11 and the 3,000 Americans that day into a story about his aunt and the subway. It's interesting, like so many things that this smarmy candidate does, he makes it about himself and it all turns out to be untrue anyway. It seems to the extent that he had any such aunt in question, she wasn't in New York at the time and in any case didn't wear the headscarf.
Mamdani's story may sound inspiring, but governing New York is where the real test begins. Campaign slogans are easy. Running one of the world's toughest cities is not. That's Maher's warning. If Mamdani's agenda fails, the fallout could reach far beyond City Hall and reshape how voters see the Democratic Party.